Hey backpackers, this is Juan from Juan Backpacks. I'm here today to give you another installment of what I call JMT Tested. This installment will include my sleep system, the complete sleep system. The JMT Tested videos are based on my through hike this past July of the Muir Trail. We spent over 22 days in our tents, sleeping and using the gear. And so I wanted to give you a rundown of how certain gear, the gear I put together before I left and what it was, the gear that I may have changed while I was on trail for that just about a month, and then how I'm going to maybe change my gear though moving forward if I didn't have a chance to adjust on the trail. And so I'm going to talk about my sleep system today. So let's jump into it. Basically, my sleep system consists of the quilt, a sleeping pad, and a pillow. And that total weight is going to be 2.5 pounds. So that's a really light sleep system. And I'll run through the sleep system and give you my comments on what, how things performed. First up is the quilt that I chose. It's the Hammock Burrow. I think it's a great buy for the money. I like really good gear and I don't mind paying for gear, but when I can get it a little bit cheaper and still get what I want, I think that it's worth jumping into. And this Burrow is a 20-degree Burrow. It's the short version of it, short and wide for ground sleeping, and it's performed great for me. Like I said, it's a 20-degree bag, and when we were in the Sierra, we probably had nights, a couple, maybe 1 or 2 nights, where I believe it might have dipped down just below 40 degrees because in the morning I know it was around like the low 40s, and we were at about 12,500 feet one night. So I think that's where the temperatures were, but it was like no problem at all, obviously, because it's a 22-degree bag and we're doing this in July. It worked out perfectly. All I ever wore to sleep was my sleep clothes, which consisted of a very thin merino wool top and a merino wool bottoms, and I didn't have any problems. As a matter of fact, a lot of nights I found myself being too warm, and so I had to kind of open up a side of the bag or hang a leg out or something like that, which is great when you have a quilt. So that worked. The quilt worked out great on trail. No complaints there. The next piece of the sleep system weighs 12 ounces, and that's the actual sleeping pad. I use the Neo Air X-Lite from Thermarest. It's the newer version of that, and I use the women's version. I get 2 advantages out of that. Number one, it's only 12 ounces because it's shorter than the men's version of it fits me. I'm about 5'6", so it fits me perfectly. And also, it has an increased R value to it, and it's just over 5 R value. And so if I'm wrong about that, I'll put the actual R value below if it comes out lower than 5, but I think it's like 5 point something if memory serves me correctly. And so the sleeping pad worked out great, no leaks, no problems at all. The only modification I made to this prior to leaving even was I put 2 strips of hook for Velcro on here so that my pillow would stick on it and not slide around. There are a lot of people that, I believe that my pillow that I bought probably came with that, but I probably threw it away when I got it for some reason. Didn't pay attention. But the Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite women's version for me was perfect across the board. Very comfortable. I'm a side sleeper, belly sleeper. I roll all over the place, and this was perfect. You can also add the pump sack to this. I would probably add the pump sack if it's going to be really cold, because when you blow it up using the warm air from your breath, obviously when the air gets colder, it deflates the sleeping pad, and so you have to blow it up one more time. And so this, if it was cold, you're putting kind of the same temperature of air into the sleeping pad, and so it maintains the amount of kind of cushion that you intended from the beginning. And so you could add that for 1.5 ounces. This, and I probably won't do that unless it's cold. This is the pillow I use. It's the Sea to Summit Eros Premium Large. I probably didn't need a pillow this big. It's 3.5 ounces. I could probably go to a smaller size, but it was kind of nice. Nice and thick, nice and padded here, and it has this fuzzy backside that worked with the hook that I put down, and so it stuck to that. Not so much that it was hard to pull off, but it kind of stayed in place during the night. And that was, you know, a nice thing to be able to have a really comfortable, like kind of soft, it's got a soft, you know, warm feel to it. And so that was nice at the end of the day, a hard hike, that you had a nice pillow. So that was my sleep system. So what adjustments did I make along the trail with my sleep system? Really none. This is one of the systems I put together before I left. I researched it quite a bit, what I might like and so forth. Obviously doing a little guesswork there with the sleeping pad and pillow and those kind of things. But overall, for me, on the Muir Trail, this sleep system allowed me to get down to some cooler temperatures, and I felt like I could have gotten into the 30s pretty easily with this system based on how I was feeling and the fact that I didn't have to go to wearing any additional clothing or anything like that. And I feel very comfortable that I could have got down into the 30s at least very easily with this sleep system. It was easy to set up. You know, when we got into camp, just throw it in there, throw the pillow on top of the Velcro, throw my bag in there and fluff it out and let it sit for a while to get some of its for the down to fluff out again, and it worked really well. So that is my JMT tested sleep system version, and I hope it was helpful to you. And until next time, get out there and do some hiking and see some cool stuff. See you on the next installment of JMT Tested.